Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about entanglements, cuffing season, and the pandemic, which is COVID-19, which is fanning the flames of the fire of these natural disasters already upon us. So how to know if you're dealing with an entanglement or a cuffing situationship, but they are different. Entanglements, according to August Alsina, entanglements are, the definition of entanglements is being entangled in the sheets. I can tell you from personal experience that entanglements are extremely easy to get into and can be difficult to get out of. Be careful. Now, we all know what cuffing season is. It's getting colder outside, and we're already locked indoors, so I think the point of today's episode is a PSA on how to handle yourself accordingly. Here we go. A major difference between entanglements and cuffing season. One is cuffing season creates situationships, but they have hope. They have hope of turning into something beyond just keeping each other warm in those cold winter days. Situationships like entanglements lead to nothing but trouble and drama and TMZ and, sorry Jada Pinkett Smith, entangled in the sheets. That's the difference. So figure out if you're headed on the path of an entanglement, or if you're headed towards a cuffing situationship that has a potential for more. Why does this point matter, you ask? Well, if someone's rushing things and not asking questions that allow for actual planning under realistic circumstances, it might be because they're trying to cover something up that they don't want you to see. They want to rush things along and kind of turn a blind eye to red flags that both of you should be paying attention to. While this does not have to be malintentioned or in bad faith, sometimes people just want what they want and want to see things work out okay. It would behoove you to slow things down before you end up in your little entanglement. Sign number 2 that you're headed towards an entanglement. You've run out of things to talk about, and beyond the physical chemistry, the conversation falls flat. If the sex is the best part of what you got going on, you might be headed towards an entanglement. Even a mild cuffing situation allows for some discourse about politics and majors and things like that. If sex is the best thing going on, just beware of that entanglement trap. On a more serious note, there are unhealthy relationships everywhere, and domestic violence and abuse is a serious issue during COVID-19 in this pandemic, where people can't get out of their houses and away from their abusers. If you think you are a victim of domestic violence, or you know somebody who is and you're seeking help, I suggest you call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. That's 1-800-799-7233. Remember, domestic violence can happen to anybody. It's not gender specific. As a family law attorney, I know this because I run into cases every day where it's not just women who are victims, men are victims too, and there are same-sex couples where parties harm each other. If you think you are a victim, if you think you know somebody who is a victim, reach out, don't stay silent, begin the process of healing today. Sign number 3, you might be headed towards an entanglement. The person you're dealing with never talks about friends. It's almost as if they don't have friends or social life outside of the two of you. And it's possible that they don't. However, more likely, they just have a whole life they're not sharing with you. If that's the case, you might be headed towards an entanglement. That person might have a whole nother family somewhere else. We've all heard of that. If you're not talking about your own personal lives, it's probably because you're keeping each other out of them. That's more of an entanglement than any kind of hope for a cuffing situationship. Sign number 4 that you're headed towards an entanglement. You have met their friends, but you don't like them. You don't like their character or who they are as people. That's a sign you might end up, even well-intentioned, in an entanglement. People spend time with people that they're like and that they like their personalities, and chances are when those goggles come off, you're going to see the person that's laying next to you a lot like those friends you don't like, and that's going to put you in an entanglement situation more than a hopeful cuffing situationship. Sign number 5, you might be headed towards an entanglement. You spend all of your time together. You're attached at the hip. It's non-stop without interruptions. Chances are something moving at this pace can't hold up. The two of you are going to get tired of each other at some point, and more importantly, are you really getting to know each other as you are in your real lives? You're not allowing for any balance of your actual interests or spending time with other people, and your expectations that you're setting right now are most likely unrealistic. You could be heading towards an entanglement, or at the very best, a unhopeful ending cuffing situationship. Be leery. While hitting the sheets is fun and aerobic activity is good for all of us, you don't want to end up in a situation where you're actually in handcuffs. And some of these things can be volatile. So with the COVID-19 inferno, like I said, fanning those flames, watch out for entanglements and cuffing situationships this fall and winter holiday season. This has been another Office Without Walls presentation. Take care of yourselves, steer clear of those entanglements, and if you are going to get intertwined, do so responsibly. As for your cuffing situationships, look for the ones that demonstrate some hope for the future, and there's nothing wrong with staying warm this winter, just do so responsibly.